bathroom too.
Put the car doors down and I'll help her by getting a I don't know.
I tried to get one plays accordion. Who's the one that plays accordion? Check that, but they were booked up for I called Where is she?
I'm working for myself. She's wandering.
Well, Grandma doesn't come. I get the dog, right?
I've not seen a grandma. Oh, yeah. We're going to have to...
Grandma chicken's out. I get the dog.
It tickles me because no people can dump them out. Well, Dave,
I like Ollie Polly. Always did.
I'm sure that Dave will never be ready by 11:30, so... You want to go and get Mother?
I was already out there.
Oh, you were out there?
Oh, she put that thing away.
For that, I'm zooming right in.
I saw you once from afar. Once from afar.
How big are you?
You want to just set it down? Do you want to take the book around? You want to take the stuff off in there?
What? But they'll get run over that way.
Still everything there.
Yeah, all tables.
What would you like me to do?
Well, I guess. Well, I got 2 days start on these. They're starting to get clean.
So he's little.
Take a picture of me and Tim playing a duet. Here on Tim. Turn around. Right now. Take our picture of them doing a duet.
You can? How?
Very beautiful.
Look at snow. Snow falling off. Emily,
I don't want to. Look here! They know I don't want to be on TV.
I told her, I picked one up, I told her I'd get it. We can put that up at first or anything.
Be nice to this poor little
Just ignore it.
Can't see the baby.
I'm gonna. There we go. The youngest grandchild, I bet.
She doesn't know if she wants to come in. She wants to stay in the doorway.
Go eat with Carly.
Ruth will welcome her.
You want to eat with Carly too?
How old is Ruth? You might know.
Let's wait and see where they eat, then you can go eat with the girls. They haven't sat down yet.
Looks like you like potatoes. That's what Dad gave you. Try it and tell me if they're any good, then I'll see if I want to try it. They look good. Are they good? I'll probably get some of those. How about this white potato? There's great job. Let's see if this one's any good. Does that look good too? Oh, and how about this chow mein stuff? Let's try it, then I know whether to get it or not.
Try it.
One bite, one bite. Okay, you were pretty good about the other one. I'll leave you alone.
It's not good against the window here.
Maybe I'll sit here. That's close enough to get a close watch.
Kathy, there you go. Give them to Christy.
Hey, Grandma. Happy birthday. Glad you came. I'm glad you came.
There's another one. The Arkansas Outlaws look pretty cute too. Somebody's gonna steal that picture by the cake.
Yeah, the Ma Barker one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured
That's why it was on there.
And I figured if he could steal one, I could steal one. She can just make another one like
Randy and Sandy have already ordered. They want a copy of all of them. So we're going to do some anyway. Dad is, but I'm doing them. So he could take the orders and I'll go do them.
Well, I wouldn't order all of them, but I would order certain ones.
Write it down which ones you want. We'll just make you copies.
Yeah. You would like some too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I take the Ma Barker one today.
Is pretty. Don't cry. She said she'd give it to us. We didn't have to steal and be counted as criminals. I figured if he stole, you'll know.
Yep.
That is such a darling outfit. I turned it down. I turned it down a while ago because it's so warm in here.
Yeah, it is.
It's over here. I don't know if that's their one. There's one over here too. What you thinking? First, second, vowel. Don't want to tell me. First, second, vowel. Oh. That one, what does it say there? Very good.
So what are we talking about, Cindy? Yes, Terry, it's a brick wall.
Oh, I missed that, Cindy.
Like you.
I missed.
Anybody need Kool-Aid here at this table?
She's the only one that I I have like a cake stuff. I have lasagna and I had butter.
There's one here too. Bring it out here. Just bring it out here. I didn't like that. No, I told that somebody good at eating flowers. No, but I want to. Linda got the job now.
Here, Cal. Say Carly. Say Carly.
That's my phone.
I have no idea who's going to be, but okay. I talked to her over the corner, her and Jonathan are sitting there visiting, so I walked. Your little friend.
There's a whole overall.
It's Owen, yeah. Yeah, last time I saw him, I looked at that like this. Now
I think you've done enough now. Hot flash?
Emily.
Emily. No, that's not Emily.
Yeah, it is.
I was just holding it so it don't fall. Look at that.
you're around.
You would like it.
Don't tape.
Well, here.
Oh, geez, I shouldn't do that. How are you, like, stop moving?
Hey, can you see the balloon?
Mom! Mom!
That one over there?
This one? I'm gonna give you that thing.
Just don't when you're running around, okay?
Too late, you're. Squeeze your legs really hard at the top.
Shut that thing off! Shut it off!
Behind us. Yeah. Understand what I wrote? Not 2 days a week. Okay. And Marilyn and Patty sent the other flowers.
She was going to discard wrapped around the rope. And when it got to the end, when she was supposed to let go, she let go. And
Meaning they don't suck
the
her
drug
over
and that safety switch that shuts it off. There's always a time when there's people halfway up the hill and it stops, and they really try to slide backwards.
You can send them to me. I'm a grandma.
I'm supposed to have them for distance. I need mine for distance. I'm supposed to wear them when I drive, but I don't. I don't know where they're at. So I don't have any problem with cocaine. I know where they're at.
You know where mine are cut out? Right here.
Now this is Patty, right? Yep. I even get up in the night.
Everybody else, yeah.
You're in Fargo, right?
Better in the morning to wash up from the bus.
And put it in the jam.
No, I forgot. I had sunglasses that I wore and I forgot to, I left them on the car. I had my sunglasses on when I walked in here. And I didn't more so reading. I'm in the bifocal lake. We're in a trifocal. Isn't there an age where that starts in there? Because I know when I first went to the bifocal, the doctor said, yeah, it starts, you know. Trifocal must have age too. And I hate to wear them.
I'm going to stand by Aunt Ruthie so she can get you two together.
Oh, yeah, that is kind of amazing.
We'll do it the way.
Like to sing a song or anything? Or?
Sweet, I'll say. You've heard it. Well, Arlen heard it. They were in McHenry here one night, and was Johnson that was in the bar. He wanted to throw Daddy out, and Arlen wouldn't let him. You're not throwing him out. Run in here. You can drive with him sometime when you're locked in the car.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Got I know how to play piano.
Nice tonsils.
In the drawer. Besides that? Gonna be a punch bowl? Turn that damn camera. Beverly was supposed to bring the punch bowl.
Mom, Cindy swore.
Oh well. It was mine. Okay, Mom. Yeah, we're fine.
You can take a long picture of the cake for Mother. She wants that, she wants us to take him with it. She wants a picture of the cake. People are going to start
I'm wearing the shirt you gave me.
Every half time I sit down, oh no! Oh yeah, she's got a plan.
So 70-year-old men, I got to play around, you know, chicken and balloons.
I was trying to get over to say hello. Cheryl?
Oh, you sure get to see a lot of people. Get on that, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Better move the table this way.
I can help you.
Okay. Slide that. That should be good. Well, I'll say hi to you.
You will. You remember me this time. Seen him in Walmart and I said, oh, what's that, me? Didn't know her.
Well, it's been, what, over 25 years since I last seen you.
What's your memory of 30 years?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm getting more like Grandma.
Well, my son-in-law said you got a photographic memory. My son-in-law told me you got a photographic memory.
I'm so bad. I forget so much more that it scares me. I see myself becoming like Grandma. They're one of my kids. Got a son. Daughter, son.
Well, like I told her that I hate the last 18 months. Let somebody on the start doing it. But I wanted to be empty. I told mother that I hope they have to be empty. I'm afraid of her, but I think that
I mean, time.
Well, I don't need a car.
Yeah, 'cause I was telling her, they were very much. You know, late at night, she wasn't that big around. Anyway, I recognized them.
are you going to come down and see me this evening? Sure. Really come on down today. Oh, you look real good, right?
Is that thing on? Is it on?
Sure.
I didn't even know it was on. Is that Doug?
You're in Arkansas. Looking for Gordon Ball.
Oh, yeah.
This is the one that tickled me.
Yeah.
You're fit to build.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I kind of like this one. Come on, sis, I'll give you a ride.
Yeah. Come
I like that bottom
I'll
one
give you a
too.
ride.
We have a new tradition for his rear. That's something to read. Hi, Judy. Hi, Dorothy. Are you?
Here, is this one of the,
Huh? No.
this one of the porcelain dolls? One that are baked? I want to show my granddaughter.
Oh, say, you say you want to buy them or no?
They want to learn how to make them.
Oh, okay. No, Kathy did. Oh, the one by the cake and gift was the best. Either here or here.
Yeah, that'd be right.
Just a message for rear.
What we say.
Oh, dear, sorry. No, my husband is. And Donnie isn't. She's not going to do what? She's not going to have anything.
Oh, man, over there. This is Johnny. This is Johnny.
I'm
Hand in there.
I feel every second. Have somebody younger start doing it. Thank you. Give somebody else a chance.
Maybe they won't want to. Good one.
Like I say, I want it.
You want to copy that on here if you want to, and then you can have that copy. Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Good, yourself? Great.
Okay.
It is. Not if you dug one. No.
Would you like some cake? Can you go tell Grandma so she can get you a plate? You have to have a plate for it. You go tell Grandma. I don't
When you want it on, though.
You just had dinner and then they have all this, and I thought they just had cake.
Oh, really?
I mean, no.
know. Well, once in a while, like, I'll drink 5 Mountain Dew. And I don't know when that is. You know, but I should have to tonight. Just get off that caffeine pop. Sure as hell, I cut back.
I didn't wear the earrings. That's great on my.
Come today to help us celebrate Jesus' birthday. We hope that we can. You can't. We're going to try to make a little program here for Dina on her birthday, and see if we can't make it, help it out a little bit long and make it a little bit better a day for her. We have a few announcements here to make. Dan and Lois Short from Virginia sent floral arrangements. Marilyn and Patty, which is Florence Short's daughters, sent the other flowers. Now I'm going to call on Judy Glenworth to read a poem.
It's not a poem, it's a history. And I've read so many that Mother has written that this is my chance. After all the readings that Mom wrote for so many special occasions of friends and neighbors, Dick and Mildred's 50th, Speckler's 50th, Georgia Benson's post office retirement party, Gus and Amanda Pay's anniversary, and Walby, just to name a few, it is fitting to write something about Mom on her 90th birthday anniversary. But alas, we lack her talent for writing, and the pen does not flow across the empty sheets of paper as hers does. What shall we speak of? Her creative and artistic abilities, her generosity and selflessness, her way of speaking her mind. Anyone who knows her very well would agree we could talk for quite a while on any of these aspects of her life. A page or two could be written on each of these subjects. The band mothers, right ladies?
Right.
The Fargo form crossword puzzles, her weekly letter of wit and humor to Brian, she writes to him every single week, and her park, all of her outdoor lights, especially the cross that Betty Pound gave her. She has that on over Christmas and Easter. Riding horses when she was younger. There's a few tales to tell about that. And her continued stories of Mary and Tilly that she used to tell to us kids when we were little, all the way from Kenny down to Tim. And she just made it up as she went along, and it was just captivating. We wish she would still do that for us. She's quite a carpenter, refinishes furniture. There's not a better cook to be found. She wrote Brian's essays for him in Olson's English class. Right, Brian? She wouldn't do it for me. Guess she must love Brian better. All the baking and the homemade things that she gave to the bachelors, who were lifelong friends, but they seemed like real family to all of us. Of course, she did a lot of crocheting, knitting, and tatting, making quilts, which she did not especially enjoy, but it was something that was needed, and so she did it. And I wonder just how many Afghans and dolls she has made. So I will write only a half a page about each topic, and we should be done here in about 4 hours.
You'll be done in 4 hours and 2 minutes.
4 hours and 2 minutes. I'll give you 2 minutes. We loved hearing Mom share her fond memories of her Grandma Mark, who lived with David and Jenny Vining, her parents. Mom said Grandma Mark had a mind of her own, and I do believe that has come down through the generations. Mom often mentions she is so grateful she lived close to her mother, less than a mile away. The Vining cousins and we kids enjoyed that proximity also. And now Mom's kids are glad they live fairly close by, with the exception of Douglas, who lives in Arkansas.
he makes it up here every once in a while, and twice Mom has been down to see him with Mac and Larry. Mother's oldest grandchild is Larry Olson Jr., 51, and the youngest is Casey Short, who is 7. And there are 43 grandchildren in between these two. And Maxine and some of them are figuring out how many offspring they have. And they came up with 80 great-grandchildren and 10 great-great-grandchildren. 21 pages to go. Just one paragraph. Our brother Kenny died in 1977. Grandma Vining in 1980. Our dad in 1981. Gail in 1989. And Arlen in 1993. Though they are no longer with us, a part of them will always be with us. A big family has a lot of joy and happy times, and so we make the most of them, because we sometimes take great sorrow, which is a part of life. We are thankful for how the Lord watches over us and has blessed us.
Thank you, Judy. I'd like to now call on Dina N. Short for a poem. Dina, come on up here.
Dear Grandma, we tried your patience with our childish ways, but oh, we remember those wonderful days. Staying over at Grandma's was a wonderful treat, but you were amazed at our most daring feats. You always had room for just one more, although we were slow when given a chore. We exasperated you in countless ways, yet you could smile and go on with your day. You're 90 today, but not very old. What wonderful memories you gave us to hold. You are loved very much by the lives you have touched. Happy birthday, Grandma. We love you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dina.
Be asked to do something at this wonderful person's birthday today, and such a milestone. I hope I don't make it. I probably won't. After this I might get shot. My old cupboard. And I wrote this and dedicated it to my mother, Laura Stedman. How the memories come to me as I think of yesteryear, about my precious cupboard and the things I've held so dear. The special cookbook had its place. 'Twas laid up kinda high on account of sticky fingers that might be passing by. Held locked within its pages, the birthday cake a prize. How I recall the glisten in the wide and shiny eyes. And how now I think of holidays with special bread so dear, and how the fragrance filled our house with all its Christmas cheer. But when I was in a hurry and my family must be fed, I didn't have much time for books. I kept them in my head. I think about the flour bin and the years 'twas hard to fill. It doesn't hold flour anymore, for it is apt to spill. Next, 3 drawers stood in line. The top 2 would overflow, for when the girls put towels away, they always seemed to grow. But I would come with hurried hands and guide the smaller pair to show them how to fold the towels, so there was room to spare. Now Papa had the bottom drawer, the fullest of the 3. The children couldn't borrow there lest brought back immediately. But there were pliers and hacksaw and nuts and bolts and nails, and all the things it took to mend the fence, and all the leaky pails. For when Papa put his things away, 'twas neat as it could be. The children never made him hunt, as they oftentimes did me. Now Papa's long since left this world with all its cares and strife, but he taught his children how to keep a neat and ordered life. Now he said the way to find success was not all riches could afford, but find the way to help the most and keep faith with the Lord. Then a door stood next in line. It had a treasured lot. It hid the lunch for after school. That always hit the spot. The children looked for dainties, cakes and apple butter. Seemed the rhubarb marmalade always made hearts flutter. The top to my old cupboard was the place to roll out pies and mix the bread and stir the cakes and held some food supplies. 'Twas there I mixed the dainties to send the messenger to the sick, and fed 11 children and never missed a lick. Above the base to my old cupboard were glass doors, still my pride, for 'tis yet they hold some dishes I received when but a bride. Everyday dishes on the bottom shelf where little girls were able to reach the plates and cups and things to help to set the table. The middle shelf held all the bowls. Their memory lingers still, and I would like another chance once more those bowls to fill. If I could choose the meal that was the most precious one to me, I think I'd take the breakfast to feed my hungry family. For every child gathered round from the oldest to the small, 'cause Papa said, the day's the best when we start out with them all. After each one had eaten food to keep their bodies strong, then Papa read the Bible. The children thought so long. And after that, the special prayers to guide us through the day, 'cause Papa said we need his grace to help along the way. The top shelf seemed so very high when the children all were small. Perhaps that's why I have choice things I started with that fall. Beneath my dear old cupboard and behind in all spare space, Papa put some things of his, and it wasn't frills and lace. And so beside the flower bin and right up to the wall, Papa kept the handy square. 'Twas needed most of all. And now I think of funny things while I sit and reminisce how the wee ones couldn't talk quite plain, all once more to steal a kiss. Now I remember Clarence with his willingness to serve, and how he'd run with his short legs, our love he'd so deserve. How Violet was at the cupboard stirring a Juneberry pie, and Clarence was in a hurry and couldn't quite get by. So in a childish manner, but with a manly air, he said, "Get over, Fatty, our Papa wants to swear." The base to my old cupboard has gone and fallen apart, but I can ne'er forget the memories locked safe within my heart. The top to my old cupboard now hangs on my new wall and holds the knickknacks from grandchildren big and small. You see, the years have come and gone, my family have all grown, and most of them live near at hand to call in my new home. Although I love the memories, I'm as busy as can be, for now I have a flock of great-grandchildren to keep me company. So if you have a cupboard, if fancy or quite plain, or if it's highly recognized or doesn't have any name, prize every treasured corner, for it will play its part and lock within its memories a happy, humble heart. And then I have a couple stories I'd like to tell you, just to round it off so you folks don't think I've slipped completely. There was this fella that had a mule, and the mule kicked his wife and killed her. Well, a poor guy, he said he had to have a funeral. And after the funeral, he was out in the churchyard, and he was thanking everybody for coming to the funeral. And he come to this fella he didn't know. And so he said, I'm awfully glad you came to my wife's funeral, but I don't think I know you. Oh, the fella said, I really didn't come to the funeral. I came to see if I could borrow the mule. That couple fellas, they were visiting. Well, I know you would be very disappointed after living with Raymond almost 52 years, that I didn't tell some stories. But his were a little on the shady side. Well, anyway, there was a couple fellas, they were visiting. And one said to the other one, what did you give your wife last year for Christmas?
Dina's youngest grandchild. Casey, where are you? Thank you, Casey.
I have a grandma, she is the best. Oh, how I love and need her. She can knit, she can sew, she can make flowers grow. She makes the best cookies of anyone I know. She's a wonderful grandma, so I'd like to say, happy birthday, Grandma. Have a very special day.
That's very nice. Now I'm going to call on my oldest son. It'd be Dina's oldest grandson. Larry, where are you at? Oh, there you are. You're not hard to miss.
Yeah, I look like you, except 20 years younger. I have an article here I want to read that was in the May 1986 issue of the North Dakota Regional Electric Co-op. I think is quite appropriate. Mother's hands are not pretty as many people think of beautiful hands. Her hand is not extremely smooth. The veins stick out some like rivers on a map. The skin looks a little loose and it might wrinkle. The nails are short and uneven. But Mom's hands are of real beauty, beautiful from years of service of others. These precious hands were gentle as she gently tended each of the needs of her babies. They have carried many a bucket of water for scrubbing floors, washing clothes, and cooking countless meals. They've spilled many pails of milk and fed the calves and pigs and chickens. They've worked the garden soil, toiled to produce much-needed vegetables for fresh use and preserved for winter. When most of the demanding times let up, they raised flowers as well. Mom's hands have kneaded loaves of bread and buns, mixed zillions cookies of the best kinds over the years. These hands sewed garments, repaired and patched, made quilts, knitted, crocheted, tatted, and embroidered. These hands fold daily in prayer. She thanks God for the chance to serve. Yes, Mom's hands are hands of service to others. To me, they are very beautiful. My mom's name is Dina Short of McHenry, North Dakota, written by Judy Cudworth.
Thank you, Larry. Well, now I'm going to call on Doris Short to read Brian's Gravy, written by BJ. Doris,
This is something that Brian wrote. Dear Mommy, I took the liberty of getting you a few items just to highlight a few of your many talents. I can say outright that you make the bestest bread and gravy possible.
Also, you bragged about it enough to brainwash most people. Now, I want you to lift out your beautiful religious purse out of your box. Oh. Lift the purse out. Check the rest of your gift out. Love, son number 5. P.S. I got my usual weekly letter from Mom. In letter, Mom said, this may be the last letter I write in my youth.
Doesn't it? All the stuff to make bread and gravy.
Thank you, darling.
Cream.
Well, we thank Brian for that little poem too.
He wrote it. I didn't have any.
I know you did. Judy, it could have been a lot worse there. I see you got some eggs here. I'm sure glad you didn't drop them.
Oh, my land! The yeast and the, everything to make for bread and gravy. Salt. Flour. It's also 90 quarters, 90 dimes, 90 nickels, and 90 pennies. Oh, there's no more. Oh, man. The Mogan David wine. That's why she sings that you made it, baby. And I didn't have anything to do with it, not a thing.
I believe it. Way to go, Brian.
This holy purse leaked out 90 quarters, 90 dimes, and 90
Who's going to end up with that bottle of wine?
Come and speak today because she said you can say whatever you want. And I decided that I needed some help because the only things I've ever heard about you are good things. So I did an investigation and checked with some people. And I don't think you should worry about this. It's not a Kenneth Starr type investigation. It's more, you might liken it more to the Boulder, Colorado Police Department. But I would just like to say this before I start, that if there are some things that you don't remember, some things that don't sound right, I'd just like you to remember which birthday you're celebrating today. You know, there was a fellow that said, he said, you know, age on a woman's kind of like the speedometer on a used car. You know they've been set back, you just don't know how far. We understand that back in the Depression years, times were pretty tough all over. And there was a young couple that lived in Fargo that were having a hard time making it. And so they decided that if we could just get on a farm, and if we could plant a garden and raise some livestock, at least we could eat. And so they had some savings, and they were able to get a small place out north of Juanita. And one of the things that they brought was a sow. And the guy they bought the sow from said, now listen, if you breed this sow, why, you'll get little pigs, and you always have something to eat. So the first day they were on the farm, why, her husband took this sow and loaded her up in a wheelbarrow, and you may remember this, Dina, or you may not, and brought her over to your place because you had a good boar, and got her bread and took her back home. The next morning he got up and he went out to the barn and he checked the pen and no pigs. So he said, shoot, we'll take her somewhere else. He loaded her in a wheelbarrow again, took her over to Vine because they had what he thought was probably a better boar. And brought her home that night. Same thing. Next morning, went out and checked, no pigs. So we took her over to Hank Pierce's the next day. That's quite a ways. You know, he loaded her in a wheelbarrow and took her over to Hank Pierce's. And the next morning, he said to his wife, he said, you know, I'm really tired. I'm tired, my back hurts. Will you go out to the barn and see if that sow had her little pigs? And his wife came back in and she said, there's no little pigs, but she's waiting in the wheelbarrow. I talked with, I don't know how much this is going to, Dina, of course, will know everyone I talk about here, and I don't know, you know, if this is going to pertain to, but I just wanted to read this anyway. I talked with Eldon Anderson, which would be Ardith's oldest boy, and Ardith was Ardith Moore. Is that how, yeah. Ardith and Roberta were raised with my folks, and they went to school with you, Dina, and they were, what, about three years ahead of you or something like that. Anyhow, Eldon found his mother's diary. You're in there. Under sayings titled "My Classmates." Now, what kind of deal was this? Did you have sayings every year? Anyway, let's see. Yours said, "Vain pomp and glory of this world I hate ye." I didn't know either. That's what it said. Roop said, "Extremely busy but quiet about it." Esther, that'd be Esther Litchwalker, Esther would have been Esther Potter. If I be not nonpartisan, tell me then, what am I? Apparently you're much deeper. Yeah. Dale who?
Potter.
Dale Potter. It says, he did nothing in particular and did it well.
I like Dale.
Ernie Potter. Water, water everywhere and not a drop to drink. Gee, this is a dry town. Dina had, according to her diary, you took boys' names as nicknames. And you were known as, you aren't going to help with this, are you?
I don't know what I was known at when you went to school.
I'm not talking about that. Lance. Does that ring a bell? You were Lance? So I told you there's some things you might...
Well, there's Bill and Bob.
Well, that was Art and Roberta, Bill and Bob. Yeah, okay. Okay, well, we'll get on through this. On October 31st, it says, well, there's some various things you did. You played on December 12th. You played Jesse Meadows in a play called Single Life. So, it says you did that. It says they had a school carnival. It says Dina was a wonderful fortune teller. Bet she pulled some good ones.
Bet she did.
It says, and I don't understand this either, it says Ardith was in a booth for men only. Wasn't that shocking? And Gilby, who would Gilby be?
Who?
Gilby, it said.
I don't know.
Unless we misread it. Had a booth for women only, it says. Doesn't say anything about it being shocking in that. Then it said, Ernie had a place all by his lonesome, and it was paradise. the only paradise some of them will ever see, so I took a good look. Okay, last item, October 31st, 1923. As Dina was a well-behaved girl, we gave her the honor of being admitted to the Lambda Delta Mystery Society. Remember that? Ernest Pay was chief officiator and led her into the mysteries of the S Lambda Delta Mystery Society. Now this gets more mysterious as we read. You're going to have to help at the end of it. After taking the oath and receiving the cloak, we put her through a few stunts. Next paragraph. She is still, period. Bernie said, who's Bernie? Anyway, Bernie said he knew we had her walk the feeling. In parentheses it says, ask Dina. So apparently you did walk the feeling. Okay, that's it from the diary. Talk to Arda, or talk to Marlis as well. She and Eldon both remember things that I remember about how you've given so many gifts, so many times, things you've made, things we still have, things they still have. Did I say Marlis and Eldon? Did I say Arda? Marlis and Eldon. This would be Arda's children. And Marlis said she remembered on one occasion when they came to visit you. You know, you've never been noted for letting things bother you. On one occasion they came to visit you and one of the little boys was running around stark naked. And you said, oh yeah, the darn kid, he always buries his clothes. And I don't know for sure, but it sounds like Brian.
Or dog.
He's got over that.
Sounds like something Doug or Brian and Terry would do.
Lost my train of thought here. There was
It's a
some.
good thing.
But I guess I would just like to say that I think it is entirely fitting and proper that we would all gather and honor you on this birthday. You've certainly raised a large family. You and Rupert taught the kids to work. You've taught them to play. You've taught them self-reliance. You've taught them to take whatever life hands you and make the best of it. And I think Brian's a very excellent example of that. And I would also like to say, Dina, that your mother and my mother were you and my mother were very good friends. And in fact, I can remember you coming to visit. I can remember you coming to visit once when I was, well, I don't know. I was pretty wide, but I wasn't very tall. And you had somebody was a baby then, and you were nursing him. So you went ahead and nursed him. Outside of National Geographic, I had, this was new to me. But I asked you why you did this, and you said because it was convenient, and it was cheap, and there was no crumbs to clean up. But I do just want to say in closing that my mother died in 1988, so it's been several years now. But if she were here, I'm sure she'd really approve of this celebration in your honor. And I think she'd want to tell you how much she enjoyed the many times that you talked together and laughed together, and I think she'd want to tell you that she really treasured times you cried together. And so it's been a real honor for me. It really has, to be able to be a part of your birthday celebration today.
Thank you.
I hope if we ever need another speaker, we can count on you. You're great. You're good. Very good. Okay, now we're going to call on Doug Short with Happy Birthday Mom. Doug?
Right, you are my mom, my friend and my pal. We've been through many events together and apart, life's joys and sorrows, the things in our heart. We fall short telling you we love you so very much. We hope you know we cherish your personal touch. We all wish you a happy birthday, your 6 sons and 5 daughters, as we are increasingly repeat what we did go after. Each day we all gather, we're getting older. Some are very, very old, some are very old, but Jim through Judy, not so sure what we are. The elders must tell us. So while we're only as old as we feel, on some days that makes you tougher than us, your memory is sharper, your wit outshines us, and you make each day a plus.
You know, we went to an awful lot of bother. We tried to get some entertainers here, musical entertainers. And we did go to an awful lot of bother. We called on Myron Thorne and Chet Atkins to come down here and play, but they were booked for today. I'm sure that if it would have been any other day but today, they'd have been here to help celebrate this birthday. But instead we're going to have Michael and Berta and Jamie to come up, Jackie to come up here and give us a little entertainment.
I am.
You press this.
I think if you can screw it
Oh, no kidding. I think so.
Can I? I will get in the way.
Change our signal.
others.
Thank you, Linda. And Michael, Chris, and Jackie. I'll tell you one thing. It's a good thing she didn't have shoestrings in those their shoes, or she probably tripped and fell on her face.
The other grandmother
I already got Clarice.
Dina, did you know you had such oddball daughters?
What? Huh? I'm a copycat.
We're going to go on here with the program now, and I'd like to call on
Linda.
Roberta Williams. Say the prayer. Roberta?
Dear Jesus, we're thankful for this day. We're thankful for this lady that meant so much to us.
Is there?
She's touched many lives here. Mothers, aunts, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. We're thankful for the beautiful day that we had today. And thank you for each one that came. Bless our fellowship with each other, and for most of all, we thank you for the gift that you gave to us, that you gave yourself for us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you for that. With that all said and done, I want to thank everybody that was participated in this little program for you today. And we certainly hope that we brightened her day a little bit. I'll tell you one thing, she has been a great mother-in-law. Now, I've enjoyed the 52 years that I've known you. I think maybe I lied there. 52 years?
It's a long time.
What's 1 year?
It's a long time, Dad.
But you have been great, and we certainly wish you a very happy birthday.
Oh, this has been the best.
So with all that said and done, I'd like to thank everybody that come here today. And I'd like to give a little special thank you to the youngsters that are here today. They've been very good during the program. We've enjoyed having them here. And we hope to enjoy the program. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day and a good safe trip home. Bye.
Those here that haven't eaten yet, just please go over by the kitchen and dish up. Stop by for the punch and the cake after you've dished up.
Is there?
I know one thing was about us, and I didn't have it written. Do you know how many grandchildren, how many great-grandchildren, and how many great-great-grandchildren? Quite a few, isn't it?
You are okay, stop.
I talked to Brenda. We're just see her just recently. I saw Brenda. I can't remember where
Do you want us to never happened. What do you need a bar?
She believes something. She did. Yeah.
Got it! Look up! Right!
Okay.
Sorry. Since he always tells me the same one about you, the guy with the history. When Mildred died, all of a sudden it was Mildred, so I don't know what it was. Try to get it switched over. Georgia.
Your age. Every time we get to smile.
Anybody have?
Can you get some of the cake now? Can you get some of the cake? I'm like,
I can get cake, yeah.
it's just I don't like the nut on it. I don't like it.
So what do? Eat the frosting and then give somebody else? Make sure they come in here.
Daughter drives university and she went.
Yeah. And if you
Sure. How was she, you guys?
I live at Ross.
Well, you enjoy that book tonight now before you go to bed.
Well, I'm gonna get a picture of you with Brad.
Okay.
Cinderella, 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 make the fire.
Stop, Tosh.
Christy. She didn't. Did she?
She may as not.
Just kidding, it didn't fall.
So what, now you're gonna feed your face again? Some people want to move, don't want
You already have one.
Christy, how do you turn it on? Don't eat with your mouth open. Don't smack your lips. Ah, I found it.
Do I keep it pushed in? Or do I just push it?
Me first, okay?
Come on, this is not exciting, Chris.
Okay. Yeah, very nice. Maybe wanted. You've been very good today. Yeah, so I just go.
Hey, you're taking a picture for bucks.
Yeah.
Right.
I gotta get this picture here.
Or do they duck under you and then stand up in front of me?
She sure had a wide pic.
Butter's cooking.
Oh, I thought Mike was standing here. I saw her here. Well, she's gone.
Berta's gone?
Yeah, Berta left.
She must have left something, didn't she?
Chrissy said push up.
My dad bought that.
Well, it's been a grand and glorious day, and I, for one, am glad it's over.
1977.